Hey, everybody, welcome back to Deserts of Plenty. My name is Ralph. So here it is. It's mid-May 2026, and in about 6 weeks from now, I will be turning 60 years of age. And yeah, on the one hand, I find that absolutely crazy. Mainly because my expectation when I was younger, like 60 is an old person. And I might guess, technically, yeah, I'm, 5 years to being a senior citizen, but I don't feel any differently than I did at 30, 40. The only thing really is my eyes, like I need reading glasses, but I've known needed reading glasses now for 15 years. But that's the only kind of marker I have right now because I still run, I still lift weights, I still get on stage, I have tons of energy. I'm very fortunate. I have thus far missed a lot of the things that tend to be problems for people my age. I mean, they're coming. I'm not living in complete ignorance of what's around the corner. But for now, for this moment, I feel pretty good. But it does bring me to the point of the values. There's certainly values or value to getting older. And one of them definitely, for me anyway, is how we come to know ourselves. So a few months ago, I had this kind of epiphany where I realized that, and I made this quote, and the quote is, I have struggled my entire life to overcome the limitations placed on me by my own self-consciousness, right? My fear of being judged, of people of disapproval, of being weird or different kept me from doing things that I wanted to do, right? Or also like my fear that it wouldn't work or that people wouldn't accept it or whatever. But I gave myself a billion reasons why not to do the things that I wanted to do. And now I realize that. And now I'm much more like, what do I want? What do I want? Right. So, yeah, my self consciousness was something I imposed upon myself without even realizing it. We grow up in this society, and I don't know about you, but for me, I grew up thinking like, okay, as a child, I saw my parents and I saw, okay, the path to being happy is you grow up, you get married, you have children, you have a job, a job that makes an income, and you live in retirement, then you have a good time. And I just accepted that, and I got married young, I had kids young, and but I'm living my life for expectations placed on me by other people. And now I want to stress, this is in no way means I regret any of that. I don't. I love my children. I love everything that happened to me. In fact, I have no regrets because everything in my life has shaped who I am at this moment. And I really like myself right now. And so another caveat, I have no regrets, but of course there are things I did that I feel, bad about. I've in the course of my life, I've come up against people, I've hurt people, just in the living of my life. I, I don't, I tried as much as possible to be a good person, but we all make mistakes, and I certainly made mistakes. So when I say regrets, I there's certainly things that I wish I hadn't done, but would I go back and change those things now? I No, because again, the mistakes I made were teachers. They taught me things, and I've gotten better. So anyway, to go back to the main point, my self-consciousness stopped me from doing things. In fact, when I wanted to become an actor, I didn't even tell my father. I just kind of left, and I mean, he knew, and he only mentioned it once, but I felt the sting of his disappointment and disapproval for a long time. Luckily, near the end of his life, we had a chance to clear the air, and I'm so happy that I got to do that. But yeah, like I really held back. And now as I approach 60, I don't hold back. I live my life without apology. And again, this does not mean that I'm, oh, the hell with everybody else. I just run out, I just do what I want and everybody else can get the hell out of my way. No, no, no. I still am very respectful of people. In fact, even more respectful of people than I used to be. Much more patient with people that used to really upset me. This is all about just myself and putting limitations on myself because of how it would be perceived. And now I've lifted those. And that journey for me of discovering who I am or shaping who I am has brought me so much peace and so much happiness at this stage of my life. And that's the main point of what I want to get across, because now I can really ask the questions of who am I? What matters to me? And what do I want? Right? What brings me joy and happiness? And I don't care if other people look at me and say like, well, oh, I mean, that's about you, my friend. That's not about me. And one of the joys of being my age and having a 12-year-old is she comes to me with this stuff and I am able to help her see, like when kids make fun of her for whatever or bully her, we can talk about how it's their problem and they're the ones who are having low self-esteem. And she can see that. And, it's made her a much stronger, more not self-conscious, self-assured person. So, once again, just to go back, like I'm not, I have now in my stage of my life, because I have discovered that my self-consciousness was a big thing that held me back. And I've let that go and I've come through that. Now I am much more in a place of peace, much more in a place of happiness, of strength. The value of selfishness in the fact of like, I take care of myself and now I am much more able to take care of those that are around me and be much more supportive and much more loving and much more comfortable. They always tell you on the planes, if the oxygen masks come out, put your own on first, because then you will be in a much better position to help others around you. And that's what I'm trying to do. So, what's holding you back from being the person you want to be? Is it your self-consciousness? What is it? Delve into those unknown unknowns. Try to figure it out. All right. Have a good week, everybody. Take care. See you next time.